All right. So, for Islamic community, mein now we have 10 blessed companions of Prophet. And by 10 blessed companions of Prophet, I mean to say that these companions of Nabi Kareem have been promised that they'll enter paradise without being held accountable for whatever they have done in this world. Okay, so this is why we call them 10 blessed companions of Prophet. Other name of 10 blessed companions is Ashra Mubashra. That's an Arabic name, but you should be familiar with this name as well, because whenever it comes in whenever it comes and whenever you hear this word, then you should automatically jump to the conclusion that these are the 10 blessed companions who have been promised paradise. So the first companion of Nabi Kareem is Hazrat Abu Bakr, and Hazrat Abu Bakr was the so basically, when the question for 10 plus companion usually comes, and you have to write about all the companions briefly. But kabhi kabhi they give you a solid one question on Hazrat Abu Bakr, or they give you a question on Hazrat Umar, or Hazrat Usman, or Hazrat Umar. So these four are the top priorities of CAI. So इनके बारे में you should know all the details that are provided to you in the slides. Other than that, the other question which comes from First Islamic community regarding the 10 blessed companions, it is usually a joint question of Hazrat Talha and Hazrat Zubair. ठीक है, so these are the most important ones that you need to cover essentially. Other than that, you can just skim through the details of other companions. ठीक है, but first four are very important, and other two, Hazrat Talha and Hazrat Zubair, they usually give a combined question on them. Okay, so six companions are most important. Other than that, just skim through the lines and you'll be okay with it. Okay. So Hazrat Abu Bakr was the Prophet's childhood friend, and he was also the first man to accept Islam. Okay, it's not just the first person; he was the first man to accept Islam, because the first woman to accept Islam was Sayyidina Khatija Raziyallahu Ta'ala anhu. Okay, and the first child to accept Islam was Hazrat Ali. So remember the fact that Hazrat Abu Bakr was a very close friend of Nabi Kareem, and he was the first man to accept Islam. Then he was a staunch supporter of Prophet, peace be upon him, and was open about practicing Islam. His original name was Abdul Kaaba, and Abdul Kaaba was his original name. Later, he was given this name of Abu Bakr because he was very fond of camels. This is why his name changed to Abu Bakr. Then he was a cloth merchant and was quite wealthy. Before Islam, he did not worship other gods, nor he was indulged in any of the ill habits that were practiced by people of that time. Yani he was not involved in the Jahiliya practices of Quraysh. Okay? He was honest in trade and used his wealth to help others. When the revelation came, the Prophet, peace be upon him, went to see Abu Bakr, who became Muslim straight away. Later, the Prophet, peace be upon him, would say, whenever I offered Islam to anyone, he always showed some reluctance and hesitation and tried to enter into an argument. Abu Bakr was the only person who accepted Islam without any reluctance or hesitation and without any argument. So, this is a very important saying of Nabi Kareem. And this is with regards to Hazrat Abu Bakr, that when Nabi Kareem offered Islam to him, he did not show any reluctance or hesitation. Okay, so this is a very beautiful saying of Nabi Kareem. Try to learn it by heart, because if the question comes on Hazrat Abu Bakr, then you should write this one. Okay. Then after conversion, he would buy slaves and set them free. Why? Because he was already wealthy. He was a cloth merchant. This is why he was able to buy slaves and set them free. He guided important companions to accept Islam. He defended the Prophet, peace be upon him, from persecution and was persecuted himself. At one point, he set off for Abyssinia but returned when his friend offered him protection. He did not hesitate to believe the Nabi Kareem when he told the people about his night journey and ascension. This means that Hazrat Abu Bakr was a person who, without any doubt, accepted whatever Nabi Kareem told him about Isra Miraj. It was a miraculous journey, right? We studied about it in life in Makkah. So Abu Bakr accepted it wholeheartedly, and he did not doubt Nabi Kareem, and this is exactly why Abu Bakr was given the title of Siddiq. He was the Prophet's companion during migration to Medina, meaning he lived with Nabi Kareem for 3 days in Cave of Sor. And the Quran mentions him as one of the two in the cave in reference to this journey. If you remember this reference, then you'll be able to recall that there's this verse in Holy Quran, and it's also a part of your reference that he was referred as one of the two in the caves because they got both of them, Nabi Kareem and Hazrat Abu Bakr, they were scared in the cave, right? So there was this revelation which came down in Cave of Sar. He gave his daughter Aisha in marriage to Prophet peace be upon him, and he participated in all major battles and gave his wealth at Battle of Tabuk. Abu Bakr led 300 Muslims to the pilgrimage in Makkah and led prayers during the Prophet's illness. When Prophet passed away, many companions refused to believe it, and it was Abu Bakr who came to address them, telling them that Prophet peace be upon him had passed away, but God was alive and will never die. He was then elected as caliph soon after this, and he is one of the 10 companions who are promised paradise. ठीक है, so these 10 companions, they have been promised paradise during their lifetime, that they will directly enter paradise without being held accountable for their deeds. Then we have Hazrat Umar. So Hazrat Umar was born in Makkah in the clan of Banu Adi. He was literate and a gifted orator. Orator means that he was well versed. He was very verbose. So this is why we are saying that he was a gifted orator. Before his conversion, he was on his way to attempt to kill Nabi Kareem. When he was told that his own sister and brother-in-law had converted, he went to her house. He found them reciting verses from Surah Taha. Omar was angry with them, then asked to see the writing which they were reading. His sister said, "Those who have been purified can read it," and so Omar made wuzu before being given the Quran. Hazrat Omar, after conversion to Islam, became one of the most devoted followers. His conversion to Islam in Makkah brought great support to Holy Prophet and his followers. The small number of people who had embraced Islam started to pray openly at Makkah because Hazrat Omar was very influential, and people of that time who were becoming Muslims, they were scared. But after the conversion of Hazrat Umar to Islam, and when he became Muslim, people gained this confidence, and then they started to practice Islam openly. Then he married his daughter Hazrat Hafsa to Holy Prophet. He took part in many battles, for example, Battle of Uhud, Trench, conquest of Makkah, and Khyber expedition. He was present in Treaty of Hudaybiyah. On the Prophet's death, he said he would kill anyone who said that Prophet, peace be upon him, had died, and he is also one of the 10 blessed companions. Then we have Hazrat Usman. Hazrat Usman accepted Islam through Abu Bakr. He was also a wealthy merchant like Abu Bakr in Makkah and belonged to the tribe of Banu Umayyah, but was still tortured by his relatives after conversion to Islam. He was literate and became one of the scribes. Scribes meaning that he was one of the persons who wrote the verses of Holy Quran. We'll also do scribes of Prophet. So scribes means those people who were responsible to write revelations. He was amongst those who migrated to Abyssinia and married Prophet's daughter Ruqayya. Ruqayya fell ill before Battle of Badr, so he was excused from participating. She died while Prophet peace be upon him was at battle. Usman later married the Prophet's other daughter Kulsum and was given the name Zun Nurain. So this is an Arabic word and it means the possessor of two lights. So it's important you should write it whenever you're writing about Hazrat Usman, that he is known as Zul Nurain. Zul Nurain means possessor of two lights. Why is he known this? Because he married two daughters of Nabi Karim. He went to Makkah as the Prophet's emissary to allow the Muslims to perform the pilgrimage and was detained by the Makkans. This led to Baitul Rizwan. This is the event of Treaty of Hudaybiyah, where Prophet stopped at this place, Hudaybiyah, and sent Hazrat Usman to give the message to Makkans that they are only coming to perform their pilgrimage and they are not coming to wage war. And this is exactly why the entire event led to Battle Rizwan, because a rumor was spreaded that Hazrat Usman has been killed by Makkans because he was detained by the Makkans, and later on he was returned back. Then he took part in Battle of Ohad, and at Tabuk, Usman supplied the army with 940 camels and 60 horses. He also brought 10,000 dinars to equip the army. So these are important values. You should remember it, okay? Because it's a huge amount of contribution that Usman made. He brought a well. He bought a well and donated it to be used by the rich, poor, and travelers. He was given the title of Ghani. So remember the titles. Remember the title of Abu Bakr. It was Siddiq. Then Hazrat Osman was given two titles. One of them is possessor of two lights. The other one is Ghani. Ghani means wealthy. At the time of farewell pilgrimage, he spotted the wives of Prophet, peace be upon him, and he was considered to be the most shy and modest among the Muslims. He is also one of the 10 blessed companions. Then we have Hazrat Ali. Hazrat Ali was the first child to convert to Islam. Hazrat Abu Bakr was the first man, while Hazrat Ali was the first child to accept Islam. He was the second person to become a Muslim, the first being Hazrat Khatija. She was the first woman to accept Islam. When the Holy Prophet asked the Hashmites to help him in his mission, Hazrat Ali was the only person to respond to his call because Hazrat Ali belonged to the tribe of Banu Hashim. And you should remember this fact that Hazrat Ali is the son of Hazrat Abu Talib. Hazrat Abu Talib is the uncle of Nabi Karim. And he became the guardian of Nabi Karim right after the death of his grandfather Abu Muttalib, right? So remember that Hazrat Ali is the son of Abu Talib. He risked his life for the sake of Holy Prophet and slept on his bed when Prophet migrated to Medina. At that time, he had entrusted to Hazrat Ali the task of returning the belongings of people that had been placed in the custody of Prophet. When the Holy Prophet announced Mawaqat, this is very important. Mawaqat is a very important event that took place when the Muslims of Makkah migrated to Yasrib. Mawaqat meaning that Mawaqat literally meant that Muslims are going to declare each other as brothers of one another. Okay, so Mawaqat is that event where immigrants yani those who migrated from Makkah, and helpers were Ansars, those who were living in Medina Tayyaba. All right, so immigrants and helpers, we'll do this topic as well. So immigrants and helpers were declared as brothers of one another, and in this Mawaqat, Holy Prophet declared that Ali would be his brother. It is reported that before this, Hazrat Ali came to the Prophet and said to him, "You have arranged brotherhood among your companions, but you have not arranged brotherhood between me and anyone else." The Holy Prophet said to him, "You are my brother in this world and the hereafter." So remember this reference as well. It's also a very beautiful reference, and it will help you to add weightage in your answer script. Okay. Then Holy Prophet gave his youngest daughter Hazrat Fatma in marriage to him. Hazrat Ali was a brave and fierce warrior. Before the Battle of Badr, Holy Prophet had sent him to discover the enemy's movement. Um, he was also chosen to carry the Muslim banner. During the Battle of Uhud, he was one of the few Muslims who defended Holy Prophet. After the battle, he, along with his wife Hazrat Fatma, washed the Prophet's wounds. He was one of the leaders in the siege of Jewish tribe of Banu Qurayza and showed great bravery in the Battle of Khaybar, using a door as a shield. At Hunain, he defended Holy Prophet. At the time of conquest of Makkah, he carried Muslim banner. Hazrat Ali did not take part in Tabuk expedition as he remained in Medina as Prophet's deputy. Hazrat Ali was one of the scribes of the divine revelation. We just did. Scribe means scribes were those people who were responsible to write revelations of Holy Quran. He is also one of the 10 blessed companions. Then Hazrat Talha. So remember this fact, I'm telling you again and again so that you do not forget that Hazrat Talha and Hazrat Zubair, their question usually comes in a joint manner. So they ask you to write about both of them in the same question. Okay, so Hazrat Talha was the grandnephew of Hazrat Abu Bakr and belonged to the family of Quraysh. He accepted Islam at the invitation of Hazrat Abu Bakr, like Hazrat Usman. The unbelievers persecuted him upon his acceptance of Islam, but he bore patiently the pain and suffering of being tested in the path of Allah and His Prophet. Talha was a brave soldier. He took part in all the battles except Badr, as he had been sent by Holy Prophet on a mission outside Medina. He saved the life of Holy Prophet in Battle of Uhud, making his own body a shield to protect him from the swords and spears of his attackers. His bravery earned him the title of Living Martyr. Talha was present at the time of Treaty of Hudaybiyah. His bravery resulted in victory for Muslims in Battle of Hunain. He also helped the Muslims by providing financial aid during the battles. He was also one of the 6 companions who were chosen by Hazrat Umar to be appointed as Khalifa after his death. Then we have Hazrat Talha. Okay, yeah. He was not present at the time of Hazrat Usman's election but swore allegiance to him after returning to Medina. He was killed during the Khilafat of Hazrat Ali. He was a wealthy, successful tradesman but led a simple life. He would be so anxious and worried on account of his vast wealth that he would distribute it among the poor Muslims. He is also one of the 10 blessed companions. So I know these are very minor details, but it's essential for you to remember for the first six companions because I have repeatedly seen questions coming up on 10 blessed companions. So we'll quickly go through the other companions, but it's essential for us to know the details of Hazrat Talha, Zubair, and the first four companions that we just did. Okay? Hazrat Zubair belonged to a family that had accepted Islam in its early stages. When he accepted Islam, his uncle became his enemy. He would wrap him in a mattress and light a fire around him. In this condition, when he would choke out of smoke, his uncle would ask him to give up the faith. No, never, Zubair would reply firmly. It is impossible for me now to give up the religion of Allah. I must die as a Muslim and not as an unbeliever. As Zubair was amongst those who migrated to Abyssinia but soon returned to Makkah. He was also a true follower of Islam. That is why he attained a prominent position among the earliest companions of Prophet. He was always ready to face danger and endure any pain or trouble for the sake of Islam. He remained faithful to Nabi Kareem even in the times of great hardships. Then he was also a rich man and was generous. Generous means he would often donate his wealth to the poor Muslims. He was one of the six men recommended by Hazrat Umar as his successor to the Khilafat and was killed during the Khilafat of Hazrat Ali. About Talha and Zubair. So this is a very important reference because this is a reference by Nabi Kareem. Holy Prophet is reported to have said, Talha and Zubair are my neighbors in paradise. So you can write the same reference for for Hazrat Talha and for Hazrat Zubair as well, because this reference includes the name of both of the companions. Hazrat Umar would often call him as one of the pillars of faith. He is also one of the 10 blessed companions. Then Abu Ubaidah bin Jarrah, he is also one of the most distinguished of Prophet's companion and is known for his services to Islam. He was born in Makkah, accepted Islam at an early age. Then he also faced hardships at the hands of Quraysh, took part in migration to Abyssinia. In Medina, he remained a sincere companion of Holy Prophet. He was also a brave soldier and took part in all of the battles almost. And then in Battle of Badr, he came face to face with his father and was greatly upset, but he had to kill him for the sake of his own faith. Because imagine how he would have felt upon killing his own father just because of his own religion, because his father was a non-Muslim. And whenever you are at a fight with non-Muslim, then you cannot see that the person standing in front of me is a relative of mine. He is a blood relative of mine. If you are at the place of jihad, then you have to kill people. So it was a very crucial moment for him where he killed his own father for the sake of his own religion. Okay. During the Battle of Uhud, he was one of those Muslims who enriched the Prophet when Quraysh attacked him. At the time of conquest of Makkah, he was given command of one of the four groups into which Holy Prophet had divided the army. Then he was also the witness of Treaty of Hudaybiyah, and then just remember during the Khilafat of Hazrat Umar, he conquered Damascus. So this is an important pointer that he will do this in the Caliphate of Hazrat Umar as well, because his name is important in this manner. But other than that, you'll not see a question on Hazrat Abu Ubaidah bin Jarrah. Then Hazrat Sa'd bin Abi Waqqas, he accepted Islam at the invitation of Hazrat Abu Bakr at the age of 17. He was one of the earliest companions of Holy Prophet. And in the early years of Islam, the Muslims used to offer their prayer outside Makkah due to the persecution of Quraysh. One day during prayers, the unbelievers interrupted them, which led to a fight. Saad struck and wounded one of them, so he was the first Muslim to have shed blood for the cause of Islam. This is an important detail. And Saad was a great warrior. At Battle of Uhud, he was one of the defenders of Holy Prophet, trying to repel the attackers with his arrows. He was present at Treaty of Hudaybiyah and took part in conquest of Makkah. Saad bin Abi Waqqas was commander-in-chief of Muslim army during the Khilafat of Hazrat Umar in the Battle of Qadisiyah. So we'll do this. Don't worry about the caliphate because there are going to be many battles that we need to cover in caliphates. Okay, so this is just a minor detail that we are skimming through. Hazrat Umar empowered six of the Holy Prophet's most trusted companions to choose a new Khalifa. Within 3 days, Hazrat Saad was selected as one of this group. During the Khilafat of Hazrat Umar, Hazrat Usman, he was made the governor of Kufa. After the assassination of Hazrat Usman, Saad was requested to become Khalifa, but he refused. When Hazrat Ali was chosen as Khalifa, Saad refused to pay homage to him. He remained away from politics till his death. He is said to have large property behind him and is one of the 10 blessed companions. Then Abdurrahman bin Auf was also one of the 8 persons to accept Islam. Yani all of these companions, they are the initial convertees of Islam and they were nearly present in all the battles that took place during the lifetime of Nabi Karim. His name in pre-Islamic days was Abu Amr, but when he accepted Islam, Prophet called him Abdul Rahman. Okay, the servant of the beneficent God. Abdul Rahman faced persecutions with the early Muslims by the Quraysh, but he remained firm in his faith. When some Muslims left Makkah for Abyssinia because of the continuous and unbearable persecution, Abdul Rahman also went. Soon after arriving in Medina, Prophet made brothers of the Muhajirin and the Ansar. Abdul Rahman made the brother of Saad ibn Ar-Rabi. Saad was willing to share his wealth and family with Abdul Rahman, but he wanted to work himself, so asked to be shown the marketplace. He was a great merchant and a wealthy man. He fought at the battles of Badr and Uhud and at Battle of Tabuk. He donated generously for the expedition and then spent money equipping those Muslims who were too poor to equip themselves. Then he had the honor of being the only person to have led the Prophet, peace be upon him, in prayer. His generosity was well known. And after the death of Prophet, peace be upon him, he took it upon himself to look after the needs of Prophet's wives from his own money. When asked the secret of his wealth, he said that he never lifted a stone unless he expected to find gold or silver under it. He was one of the 6 persons chosen by Umar to form the Council of Shura to choose the Khalifa after his death. He is also one of the 10 blessed companions. Then Hazrat Sayyid bin Zaid, when the Holy Prophet invited people to Islam, Sayyid bin Zaid was in the forefront of those who believed in oneness of Allah and who affirmed their faith in the prophethood of Hazrat Muhammad. He is said to be 28th person to have become a Muslim. He could read and write. This is why he was also the scribe of Prophet. He was a great warrior and took part in all of the major battles during the lifetime of Prophet except Battle of Badr and is one of the 10 blessed companions. With this being said, we have covered 10 blessed companions. After break, we'll do the other part of our Islamic community. Okay, I'll open the classroom at 7:13 p.m.